Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Kay, and for today's swatch sesh, I thought it'd be fun to just chill and kind of just go through what I got for my little birthday haul because I was finally able to pick up some stuff from my wish list, which I feel like I've been ignoring. I kind of got a mix of new stuff and also old stuff. So yeah, let's just get right into it and see what I got. My niece calls this Ocean Sparkle by Death Valley Nails. Did I save the best for first? Because we're kicking off the sesh with the only nail seasoning in the haul, which dropped in Death Valley Nails' summer collection of this year. And as soon as I saw the swatches, I knew I needed two, but I actually waited to buy my backup during their 20% off sale. So what we have here is seemingly a clear base housing those handsome metallic blue shards. We also get some iridescent flakies that shift between pinks and oranges and even green at some angles. Death Valley Nails, they say this is the loud cousin to Summer Salt. In that case, can I please meet the whole family? Because these are the genes, these are the DNA traits that I am looking for in a polish. Fun fact, I actually own more backups of DVN polishes than of any other brand. Take a look at the end result here. Those blue flakies are hypnotizing. They glow in this beautiful tone of blue, and then with the iridescent flakies, we mainly get some pops of pink, which pair really nicely with that blue tone. Let's move on to trying this over black, and you'll see right away how the pink that was once in the background now stands aside those blue metallic flakies. They become equally evident on the nail, and you also get a better taste of that shift into those orangey tones. So definitely a nice dynamic option here. You can top it, you can nail season it, you can sandwich it with some jellies. This one was just too unique to pass up. Ooze by Cracked Polish. Next in the sesh is Ooze by Cracked. I was actually debating between this one and Krypton from Starly, but the only reason I went with this one is because it is more affordable, and at the end of the day, they look pretty identical in pictures at least. No regrets though, the formula is smooth and has good viscosity, although it feels a little bit contradicting because I am also noticing that it doesn't have too much self-leveling power. Oh, there you go. I hesitated and then pulled back because my ancestor said, "Child, stop, or the streak will come." So I stopped. It looks great here though. I didn't feel a need to move on to a third coat. The green is bright, it's vibrant, bold, it's loud, and I do love how it has just the right amount of white to make it pop without taking it into pastel territory. And it is a neon green, so we do get a really cool green glow under UV light, which is always a nice bonus. Overall, I'm very happy that I finally checked this one out of the list. Although, if you own Krypton and this one, please let me know your thoughts down below on which one you prefer and why, just in case I should be keeping Krypton on my list. Sakura's Serenade by Mooncat. You already know I had to get a pink, and hey, there might also be another pink in the sesh. Perhaps, but right now it's time to serenade this very cutesy polish. What we have here is a thermal, and I'll show you the shift soon, but we are starting off in the warm state, which is a light pink color. You might also be noticing the blue shimmer that they threw in as well. Now, the opacity on that previous first coat It's fair, but definitely not fully opaque. And because it's a thermal, you'll definitely want to make sure you reach full opacity so that you don't get any weird surprises when the color shifts come in. There's hot water to my left and cold to my right. Notice that hot pink color shift, and I can't help but wonder how this hot pink compares to Merkitten. I don't have Merkitten, but it definitely came to mind as something to possibly compare it to. Mooncat warned us that this formula is thicker, but as I was applying, I couldn't sense any difference between this polish and other Mooncat polishes in my collection. I do appreciate how Mooncat decided to keep it simple and not add any other elements outside of the shimmer. The Remedy set, which is the collection that this polish is a part of, is overall just a really tranquil, soothing collection that's free from any wild additions that would take away from the simplicity of it, and Sakura Serenade was definitely my favorite. Sheer Tin Orange by Emily Demali. And we go from the most popular color to one of the least liked colors, but it is a jelly, and the reason I got it is because I'm trying to build my perfect jelly collection. Some of you know that I own Tango from ILMP, but Tango is not nearly as bright as this one, and it's also not a neon like this one is, which I'll show you soon. But about the formula, y'all, Emily Demali's jelly formulas are top tier, folks. I'd say they're comparable to Cert Colors jelly formulas, which are sacred in my humble opinion. The polish has excellent viscosity. The self-leveling power is there. This is basically like an orange ridge filler at this point. I really can't say enough good things about the formula. And I would also say that this isn't a milky type of jelly formula. It's more translucent, but let's move on to seeing how this polish reacts under UV light, where it gives us a really strong orangey yellow type of colored glow, which I won't ever get to see unless I use this flashlight, but that's okay. It still gets points for being cool. So if you like jelly formulas and you haven't tried Emily Demali, you might just want to test them out. I have yet to have a bad experience with their jellies. Fake Plastic Love by Death Valley Nails. This is the second pink from the haul, another Death Valley Nails purchase, and another drop from their 2025 summer collection. We start off with a neon pink jelly base that is nicely packed with so many varieties of flakies. Are you ready? Here we go. Iridescent blue to lavender flakies, multichrome green to teal flakies, multichrome purple to pink to cyan flakies, holographic flakies. And if that wasn't enough, we also get blue micro flakies. It is quite twinkly, as you can imagine, and very pink. And because of the jelly base formula, it's gonna bring some sheerness too. But it's nothing that a second coat can't fix. Maybe a third if that's your thing. Notice how the blue micro flakies are coming through in such a way that makes them look like blue shimmer. It's quite strong. And if I put the UV light on this polish, we do get a really intense glow in somewhat of a coral pinky type of color. Now overall, after swatching this, I'm not absolutely crazy about this polish, but I also don't regret my purchase here. I just think I'd like it more if it was just a plain jelly. Bad Water by Death Valley Nails. Another DBN purchase, and one that I had been eyeballing but also ignoring for a while because It's not anything special, it's just a black polish that dries down matte. And so I was never in a rush to check this one out of my wish list because you can easily turn a polish matte by applying matte top coat. Personally though, I do find it cool when the formula can already do this for me. Plus, I may have been quietly resurrecting my love of stamping, so I could see myself using black water for a few designs. It is definitely not a one coater though, but I found that 2 was just enough to reach that full opacity, and of course you do have to wait a little bit for it to fully dry down before that matte effect comes out to play. You can see that I did catch a tiny little piece of something. There's like a little bump on the top right hand side of my nail, but it's fine. I probably could have just dragged that off. Ultimately, I very much dig this look. It's very plain but still very useful to me, and also I haven't seen a black matte coming from any of the brands that I typically purchase from except for this one, so as basic as it is, it still kind of feels like a unique find to me. Mutiny by Mooncat. Mutiny is a new drop from Mooncat. This is part of their latest Welcome to Paradise collection, and I'm first gonna try this one on magnetized, but I'll move on to the cat eye and velvet effect after that. Now, in swatching this, I noticed right away the excellent amount of coverage that I am getting here. This is very opaque, so I actually decided to stop after 1 coat because it just looks exactly like the bottle at this point. Not something I typically do, but if a polish allows for it, then I don't feel the need to push it. We do get a nice bright green glow when it catches the light, and you'll see that in this lighting, the edges of my nail do stay in that darkened green tone. But let's move on to the cat eye effect, for which I applied 2 coats. And look at that clean green line right across my nail. Why do I have a lightsaber on my nails? That's what it looks like. The amount of magnetic pigment that we get in this formula is so generous. I do appreciate how Mooncat kept it simple here too, and they didn't add anything else to that base. The main character is the magnetic effect. So moving on to the velvet style, I think this is where you can get a better view of the amount and also the strength of the magnetic pigment. We definitely got a loose hand from Mooncat when they dropped that magnetic in, and as I move the nail around, you get that bottomless pit of nail polish illusion that is a result of this velvet style effect on the nails. Now, because I personally prefer bright green over darker greens, I will likely be overusing this one in this exact style. TLDL, that is my birthday haul, and I'm really happy with all of these. I really don't even think that there's anything that could ever make me regret any nail polish purchase that I make, unless the formula was like absolutely horrible or something. But my favorites from today are definitely Ooze, Sheer Tint Orange, and My Niece Calls This Ocean Sparkle. And so with that, we wrap up the sesh. Thank you so much for keeping your cute little eyeballs on this channel. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching so much. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.